Did you ever think this could be as big as it became, to reach 8 million people? Like, not even reach, because you probably reach a ton more, but a community 8 million in 1 year.
For me, I honestly thought I was gonna make it big. Like, you always have that hope inside of you. Like, if you're doing this and you're not thinking like, I'm actually gonna do this and I'm gonna do this big and come out with results, then I mean, you should kind of reconsider.
Dump in the jump. Top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. I'm so out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the light sticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go, it's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the fields. Hey, vivid for the ears, I know that's how they like it. Yeah, I fantasize.
Welcome to the A1 with Moyin. Now, normally I bring you a brand new episode every Tuesday, but we're launching something really interesting, and that is TikTok Thursdays. For the next month, I'm going to be interviewing some incredible South African TikTokers. And in this episode, I interviewed two amazing TikTokers, starting with Superherointraining, who is one of the biggest TikTokers on the continent with over 8 million followers. He was also the most watched TikToker on the continent. I also get the chance to interview Semone, who is an amazing TikToker known for her mommy content and has really been able to craft her own voice on the TikTok platform and create an amazing community. Enjoy! Hey guys, welcome. I am virtually seated next to Superherointraining. Now, his real name is Tevin, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and just tell us a little bit about himself in Tevin, just like 30 seconds. What's Superherointraining about?
Okay, I got you. So basically, I'll introduce my content. Superherointraining is basically about superheroes in training, people who are actually trying to do incredible things in life. And I basically try to highlight just the best parts of human beings and try to restore faith in humanity. And sometimes I do cool stunts, cool trick shots, and just amazing content in general, just highlighting how incredible we as human beings can be and supporting other people. My name obviously is Tevin Musara. I am of Zimbabwean descent, but I lived in South Africa for my entire life. I was born and raised here. I was actually not raised in Johannesburg. I'm from Nelspruit in Mpumalanga, so like basically farmland. So it's kind of weird how I myself am someone who comes from such a conservative space, who is in the creative industry right now and doing what I'm doing. So yeah, that's me. And also I'm an actor. I studied at the University of Cape Town, did my honors degree, and yeah, let's go.
I didn't know you were a Cape Town boy for some time. I live in Cape Town. It would have been nice to know you while you lived here, but it's okay. It's okay. That's amazing. Okay, great. That will be our starting point. You studied acting. So obviously this media world has been an attractive thing for you. Why did you study acting?
I studied acting because, firstly, I just always knew that I wanted to go into the creative arts. I didn't know that I wanted to become an actor until later on in my life. I think for the most part in high school, I was a dancer. We used to travel all around South Africa, dancing and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know Costa Titch now. So he was also raised in Mpumalanga and Nelspruit, and we used to dance in the same kind of spaces together. So everyone used to be a professional dancer back then, traveling South Africa, and it got to a point where I was like, damn, am I gonna make money as a professional dancer out here if I'm not a choreographer? I could be a choreographer, but it takes so much time, dedication, and I need to do something that truly wakes me up in the morning and goes, hey, you need to go out there, get the bag, and also chase your dreams, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I am gonna take on acting. Took drama in high school, and from then, my parents came to watch me for the first time perform, and my mom just knew. She was like, yo, I was skeptical about this, but after watching you perform, I think you should follow your dreams. And so I was gonna go to New York and study over there, but then I just thought, let me lay my roots here in SA for now, and then we'll see about this international lifestyle later on. But for now, I'm here. And that's how I got into UCT.
You ended up not going to New York, but still have now created an international community. Most watched at the end of last year, 2020, on the continent as well. Did you ever think this could be as big as it became, to reach 8 million people? Like, not even reach, because you probably reach a ton more, but a community 8 million in 1 year.
For me, I honestly thought I was gonna make it big. Like, you always have that hope inside of you. Like, if you're doing this and you're not thinking like, I'm actually gonna do this and I'm gonna do this big and come out with results, then I mean, you should kind of reconsider. But like, I didn't think it was gonna get to this point this quickly. My perspective was, yo, I need to get to 1 million by the end of the year. That was my goal. I was like, I'm gonna get to 1 million by the end of the year. And I was chasing that. And then as I started growing, I was like, oh my goodness, the sky is the limit here. So I started picking people who I was like, yo, I want to beat this person. So I started posting more and more content thinking, I am going to try and beat this human being. And then once I pass this person, I'm going for the next person and then the next person. After watching The Last Dance by Michael Jordan, I just had that mentality of like, kill or be killed. So I have to go hard for this. So, you know, that gave me that mentality of like, always beat your opposition. And I mean, it's never ever like malicious, but like, if you're trying to get to the top, you're gonna have to beat the people who are above you. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Now, I don't believe in overnight success. I don't think it exists. I feel like people have worked hard for generally 10 years and then an opportune moment comes about. So how long has it been since you started pursuing the creative media, dance, acting industry? So when did you start? How old were you when you started? And how old are you now, by the way?
It's been a long time. Okay, right now, if I don't look the part, but I'm actually nearly 25. Literally, at the end of this month, I'm turning 25. But I look maybe 19, 18 to a lot of people. Wow, it's been a long time. I think I started dancing when I was 10, like around South Africa, 10, 11 years old. And then I started content creating around the age of 13, 14. At UCT, I used to shoot skits, like for literally like 10 people. You know, it used to be like a small audience on other platforms before TikTok was a thing. And I just kept on grinding, trying to get my editing skills up. And I think that's the most important thing. It's about experience, about learning how to take an L, because you're gonna take so many L's, but you need to know how to handle yourself when you get those L's, you know what I mean? And I stayed consistent. And eventually my editing skills went up, the way I shoot things, my punchlines, how quickly I can make content in a day, how quickly I can shoot, how I can operate the camera and be the actor just by myself. So I think, if anything, it's not an overnight success. Maybe over TikTok, it was a quick period because I got to 8 million in under a year, maybe like, 10 months? But it's been a long time coming. Yeah.
Told you, I don't believe in overnight success. I knew there was a story there. I knew it. Now, okay, so here comes this quarantine moment, right? An opportune moment, whether you knew it or not. And you decide you're going to be creating content on this platform. You're seeing some growth. Like you said, you decide to Michael Jordan it and just have those targets. So I want to know, what did you do consistently? How many pieces of content did you load a day? What were you implementing every single day? Because you had your targets, like you said, you'd notice somebody, be like, I want to hit those numbers, and you'd go after it and you would hit it. But what exactly were you doing in creating the content?
So firstly, I first looked at the gap of TikTok, like what kind of content are people creating? Where can I fit in? And what can I do that I really like? Because I hate faking it till you make it. Because then you have this audience that you've built out of this fake persona, and that's just gonna kill you in terms of your mental health later on as you go on, because obviously they're gonna continue wanting that kind of content. So I thought to myself, okay, I need to find this gap. What am I gonna do? And I found a gap. And obviously now you know that I do a lot of reaction content on my platform, a lot of comedy. And then I started looking at my comments and I realized, if I want to build a community, I can't just let people comment and not respond to their comments, because people come out there to watch my content and they're giving themselves to me. They're giving a part of themselves to me. So I need to respond to these people. So I would tell them, hey, listen, I'm posting another video tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video. I give them a specific time. This is the time I'm going to be posting tomorrow. And then they feel like, yo, okay, this person really values us, really values the time that we actually spend on watching his content. So you start building yourself a community. And then I told myself, like, I have to be consistent, surely. I can't not just like I can't post one video a month. Like, that's not gonna do it. So I started posting each and every single day when I found what I wanted to do. And I think that's one thing that really led me to success, is that people knew that they could always rely on me. So long as they come on TikTok, they would find a video at 6 p.m. of the Superherointraining right on their For You page or on my profile. Yes, sir.
So it was only one video, but every single day.
It was one video every single day. One specific video every single day, and that was it. But there was one specific video that I posted, which I obviously can't talk about because it's kind of controversial, do you know what I mean? So, like, I posted this one video, and it was a comedy kind of like video. I was doing a reaction to a specific organization, which I want to work for later on in the future, so I can't talk about it like specifically. But I made a video. It was kind of like satirical about this company and how they make their characters. And it blew up. I was like, oh, damn, let me continue doing this. So then I made a series about that. And then I thought to myself, oh, wait, let me change it up because I can't continue doing the same exact thing. So then I started adding layers to the content that I was creating. You need to evolve as time goes so that you stay relevant. And that's what happened. And then one video every day worked perfectly.
So I love what you said about building that community. You formed a relationship with your audience. What was the first milestone for you with the community that you had created? Like, was it a specific number? Like, tell me what was a milestone.
Okay, so it sounds very like weird when I say it now, but a milestone for me was getting my first 1,000 views. Like, I was so hyped. I was like, what? 1,000 views? This is crazy. I didn't think I would ever get 1,000 views, you know? And now looking at it in retrospect, that's what really motivated me. Because once I got that 1,000 views, I was like, okay, I need to like step up my content. That's when I knew I have to post every single day. And once I posted this one video that I spoke about that went viral, I remember waking up in the morning thinking, yo, this video's flopped. Because I posted it at night. There was 0 views. I was like, yo, oh my goodness. I just spent so much time making this video. I put my heart and soul into this video, and then it flopped. Woke up in the morning to like maybe 1,000 notifications from TikTok. I was like, what? What did I do? Like, did I do something bad? Like, I don't know what's going on. Checked my phone, and it went from 1,000 followers to like 60,000 followers. And then I was like, wait, hold up, what? And then I was like, no. Surely there's a mistake. So I logged back on. 1,000 more notifications. So the thing is, like, TikTok reaches a cap on your phone. I don't know if you have an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever, but like every phone has its own notification bar before you open your phone. So it has a cap. So it told me this is how many notifications you have. So I was like, wait, what? Open the notifications, close my phone, another 1,000. I was like, no. Something's wrong. By the end of the day, I at least had 100,000 followers. And then the next day, I continued to post the same kind of content, the same genre. I ended up with 200,000 followers. Literally in under a week, I gained 1 million followers from the content that I was posting. And then I was like, yo, this is game time, you know? And that's when I knew sky was the limit after that, because I just knew, okay, I hit the jackpot and this is what I want to do. And so the nice thing about it was I created that genre on TikTok. I created that weird reacting genre on TikTok. So it was something new, something fresh, and people were really intrigued on coming to my profile and watching that content because no one else was producing it. I mean, obviously now I've built a whole entire community of people who create the same kind of content that I create. But it's really cool looking at other people and going like, yo, you don't know that an African kid did that. But yeah, it is what it is. Now we're at 8 million.
That is I can't even imagine what to like open your phone. Like I knew TikTok was a platform for growth, but
if you strike oil, you'll strike oil. Like honestly, I mean, there's this one creator named Cubby. He's from Italy. He has 58 million followers in under a month, but he just hit something and he hit it right. And people were just like, yo, we love your content. And they started following him. So I think anyone can make it. It's patience, consistency, and quality. That's all it is.
And I think I don't want to encourage that, like, oh my gosh, just do this and you have millions of followers. This was a combination of years in the making. This was your schooling, like you said, how you learned how to edit things and you were doing short form videos or like, shooting other people already. So this was, what did they say? Opportunity meets something
opportunity will only meet you when you're dancing on the dance floor.
Look at that. There we go. Thanks, Tevin. Yeah. Wrapped it up nicely for me. So I love that. Now, in regards to, like, we spoke about you building a relationship with the community. Like you told them you would respond to comments, tell them you'd be back tomorrow at this time, at this place. Obviously, you were also creating content were you creating content off the app and then putting it on the app?
I was.
Or were you creating through the app?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I was creating it through the app, and then I found like different apps that really made the process smoother for me and allowed me to add different effects onto my videos, So I found those other apps easier to use. So then I started shooting on TikTok using the TikTok video format, shooting on there, and then taking the content from there, putting it on the editing software, editing it, attaching everything that I needed to attach, put it back on TikTok. Then, yeah, that was the process.
So here you are, you've built this relationship with your audience. Now you have this incredible audience that can be monetized. How did you start building relationships with brands?
So, I started content creating not just for like monetary value. Like it was in my mind, like eventually I want to make money from creating all this content because it's taxing. It takes a long time. But I started just creating for fun. And then I never ever thought I should approach brands right now and try to get these brands to work with me. But then as I started growing, brands just started approaching me and I didn't have to do it myself. I didn't have to go to them and go, hey, listen, this is me. I need you to work with me. I find like when you do that, brands try to swindle you. They try to like lowball you. But if they approach you, they have to respect you because they know who you are. They've scouted you and therefore you can tell them how much you actually cost. So yeah, that's basically how it like started. Like I started getting sponsorships from other people, promotions from other people, and that's how it went. I don't know what else to say about that. But that's it.
Well, I like that. I mean, obviously your growth was insanely rapid and obviously people took notice of that and came to you, which is awesome. And now you're signed internationally and locally. How did those relationships come about?
Okay, so I know the agency that is in America right now, Viral Nation. So they're rated the best influencer agency in the world. And I knew for sure, like, if I became a massive content creator, that's the agency I wanted to represent me. Because I want to be with the best, you know what I mean? So I thought if I am someone who is at the top of the content creating sphere of my country, then surely they should kind of like take notice and take me seriously. So then I approached them. And it was the first time like anyone from South Africa had approached them, and they saw an opportunity in me because they saw my growth. Because one day they would be like, on my profile, it was at like 5 million. The next day, 6 million. So they're like, wait, what? So then they knew, okay, something like is brewing here. So they wanted to work with me. And I was quite surprised that they got back to me literally the next day and we spoke and we reached an agreement and everything's been great. I think most of the deals that I've worked on have been international deals because not a lot of people actually know that I'm South African, which is weird. So hopefully, doing all these like interviews, these podcasts and stuff like that, like will help with building my presence in South Africa because, South African people watch me, but they don't know that I am from home. So you know, it's really cool, like, to do these interviews and have people establish that, yo, he's actually from here and I can do it myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you've signed, here you are, again, building a relationship with this international, you set a goal. Now you had a goal, I believe, of, and you still have it, according to some of the conversations that we had, of really, like, being known here for what you do as well in the country. And so you've also signed to a local management team. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what led me to signing locally as well. Simply because I love my country, yo. Like, these are the people who made me who I am. Even if they don't know, but they are the people who made me the Superherointraining. You know, they are the heartbeat of my profiles. So if anything, I just see massive amounts of opportunity in South Africa. We're developing, we're growing as a country, production's getting even better. And, you know, like, I need to put myself in there as well. Like, I need to join the big boys. So, you know, like, I definitely signed locally, and hopefully this chapter is going to lead to massive things. And literally, like, this week is when I signed to a South African agency. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, when you say agency, just for clarification, there's influencer agencies, there's acting agencies, there's talent agencies. Which one did you sign to?
Okay, so I have all. Well, actually, I don't have a talent agency. I have an influencer agency and I have an acting agency. So, like, a lot of people don't know, but I studied at the University of Cape Town. I did my honors degree there in acting. And then obviously I joined an acting agency in Cape Town, and in South Africa, Johannesburg, for those of you who don't know, if there's international people watching this. So yeah, I joined two acting agencies. And then obviously influencer agency in Johannesburg, because this is where I am for now. Yeah.
What does your family think of all of this?
They're I don't know, they're mind boggled. Like, every time I come to them, I'm like, Mom, I reached this goal of mine. She's like, what? Oh, that's really cool. And then she's like, yo, teach me. Like, the nice thing about my parents is, like, they're so engaging with everything. Like, if I tell them something like, Mom, like, I got interviewed by BBC, Mom, I got this agency, I did this, I did that, she always goes out and, like, supports me and checks everything out. And, like, I think that's one thing that's really motivated me to actually reach out for everything that I've wanted. Like, and it's also taught me to go and grab everything. Like, I don't wait for anything to happen. I always, like, go out there and get. Because, like, if you're waiting for everything to happen to you, then you're gonna miss so many opportunities, you know? Like, you can't expect the entire world to know about you. You have to literally approach them and be like, hey, I think you should know about me, and this is why I think you should know about me.
Okay, so with some of the people, with your peers now, you've been doing this for over 10 years. You've been working towards your breakout moment, breakthrough moment, all of that, which has now been through the platform of TikTok. Those relationships with people that you were creating with and building with, how are they now?
They're good. They're good. I won't say that I am someone who has great relationships with other content creators.
I mean, you're like, not brand new to, like, content creation world, but, like, yeah. I mean, this is still newish.
It is still newish. So, I don't know, like, the people I want to surround myself with are people who I can learn from, you know? So, there's a lot of relationships that I still want to build in the content creating industry. A lot of collaborations that I want to do. I mean, I'm going to be collaborating with a lot of big South African personalities. But obviously, it's very hard to get into those circles, especially when you're just starting off, you know? So, like, through the TikTok Rising Voices, you start to meet certain people, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Let me just slide into this person's DMs because I spoke to them over Zoom, and hopefully they respond. And, like, I've gotten a couple of responses from people, and they're like, hey, we'd love to collaborate with you and stuff. So I think that's going to help me with my presence in SA. When it comes to international people, I have things working out now, so, like, we'll talk about that later when it actually happens. But yeah, like things are cooking.
Nice. Well, I mean, forming relationships with other content creators is vital. Like I know for me, some of the relationships and brands that I've worked with and things like that came through somebody having another conversation with another creator, and they're like, oh my gosh, you know who would be great for this? Like, Moya would be great for this. I like the fact that you're setting targets also with like building relationships with people who, are accomplishing greater things, but also forming relationships with those other creators who are on your tier 8 million is a different kind of tier, but just saying, but not in numbers wise, but in creativity wise. But you're also building with people, with other content creators, with those who will really help you in terms of like the creativity and things like that, because that's super important, to surround yourself with people who just are for you, but a community of creators and a community of people in general who are there for you and not for the superhero in training and all of that. Because once you do reach that level, things get a little murky. Sometimes with relationship.
And I've noticed, I won't lie, I have noticed, it's been a learning curve, but I was always prepared for this. I have other family members who are in the industry who I can't say because, but like they're well-established people. So like I just know like how relationships go and how like once you reach the top, like a lot of things become watered down and like there's nothing you can do about it, right? But like keeping a circle of people that you truly trust and also making sure that you are vigilant of everything around you, because you might meet someone who is friendly right now, treat you like the world, and then later down the line they backstab you. So you just have to stay on your toes and just know like if it's business, it's business. If we're friendly, but like deep down you need to still be vigilant of this person, because you never know. You really never know.
So to wrap things up, where do you want to be? What are your goals? I know acting is obviously something that you've been targeting. Is that like the ultimate dream?
Man, after watching Underground Railroad, you guys know, like, there's South Africans out there doing the most. And like, I for sure want to be on that level with my content creating and my acting as well. Like, I also want to be a director later on in life. So all of this is just building blocks to where I want to get. And I want to reach the top. Like, I want to surpass limits that people have reached. Do you know what I mean? Like, Trevor Noah is so amazing. He's massive in the industry. But if I could somehow beat him in something, that would be an amazing achievement to me. And that's just like that mentality that I have. Is like, I need to put people up there and go like, I want to be like you, but even better. And so I want to reach the highest heights and do things that people in my country have not done yet. And so that's what we're vying for. I don't know where that will lead me, but I want to be the biggest in what I do. So I won't stop until I get it.
All right. Well, Tevin, Superhero in Training, thank you so much. I'm going to put all your links for stuff in the description bar on the podcast and on YouTube. But yeah, all the best. And I know we'll see more of you in SA. We're going to see you just do the things.
Yeah, a lot's gonna come, guys. Like, I'm not even gonna cap you. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's planned that's gonna happen this year, and just like stay tuned for that stuff. I go by the name of Superhero in Training, by the way, and my actual name is Tevin Masara. So yeah.
Well, Semone, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to get into this conversation.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited about this. You don't understand. There was a time where people did not want to talk about TikTok, so I'm excited about this.
Now, not only do they want to talk about TikTok, they want to get all the insights. They want to know how they can trend. They want to know how they can go viral. So yeah, it's definitely the conversation to have on social media. And I am so interested to know your story, because it started with your husband, I believe. Or how did it all start on TikTok with you?
It did start with him. As I was saying, he literally would disappear and I would catch him making videos sitting on the toilet, not on the toilet, but you know what I mean, doing memes and all these things. And I'm like, what are you doing? We have like a newborn. And then he said to me, I watched a Gary Vee video. And this is something that you have to check out because it is the #1 entertainment platform to be on. And I was like, okay, fine. And being so insecure at the time, because I had just given birth to my second, I was not too comfortable with video. So anyways, I downloaded the app and I was a watcher, mainly because I was watching him and what he was doing on the platform.
So what made you venture into it? Like you said, he was completely in, disappearing every once in a while to like create certain moves. You just had your second baby. What was the thing that made you say, you know what, I'm actually going to try this out?
So I started because he would often ask me to do certain things in his videos. And I was like, okay, but let me try it on my own. So one fine afternoon, my kids were sleeping and I decided to do my first TikTok. And surprisingly, there were no views. And I was like, you know what, I'm okay with that because then no one saw my stuff, which means I'm just putting myself out there. And I think that's where it actually started. I started doing trains and I started enjoying the platform. And from being a watcher, I became a creator. Yeah.
What did the video not like have any views at all? Did it stay on 0?
I think I had like 2 or 3 views, which I was okay with. But I must say, because of the fact that he started tagging me in his videos, I had more people that started watching mine. So that's how it kind of started for me. Yeah.
Now, even though he started, you have surpassed him, I think, by like 3 times. You have like 3 times more followers. You are obviously an active TikTok user. What made you fall in love with it?
I've always been a creative person, and having left corporate to raise my kids because of the fact that my husband travels so much, I felt like it was a creative space for me, and it was really a coping mechanism in the beginning because having a 2-year-old and having a newborn, or he was like 3 months old when I started TikTok, it was crazy. So I think it also was a coping mechanism for me to just, have a feel-good space where I'm creative and I just let myself out there regardless of me still having, postpartum belly and still having all my cravings and breastfeeding in between. That really just gave me a little bit of, something for myself.
Yeah, gosh. What kind of space were you at mentally? Because that's a lot to that's a lot in terms of being in that space. You just had a baby, there's postpartum, your body has obviously changed again. And what were you kind of feeling mentally in that time?
I think I was a little bit more mentally stable than the first time. I think the first time, having gone through it, alone and everything was new, it was a bit more difficult. And I must say, having the support around me, like my husband and my family, that really helped me get through easier the second time, even though the pregnancy was a little bit more complicated and my baby was in ICU for 3 weeks. And I think that's why TikTok was just a place where I went to have a good laugh, even though I was having a bad day and I sat up at 2 a.m. in the morning breastfeeding and waking up every 2 hours. Like, TikTok was my escape. It really was.
For those who might not know, by the way, what does your husband do?
He plays rugby. Yeah, he does. A little bit of sport.
So when you started, you weren't feeling all that great to like put yourself on camera. So what happened? How did you gain your confidence to then put yourself on, not only on camera, but on a public and global platform?
I think because of the whole perception that Instagram creates with having this aesthetic, filtered life, being on a video platform, you cannot hide behind a video. So having given birth, it's a mental battle on its own. So having still, with all my baby weight, starting TikTok, it was very difficult for me because I wasn't happy looking at myself in the mirror, and no one knew everything else that was going on in my life at the same time. So, and because of the people that were on the platform that received me so well, that gave me so much confidence. And I was able to just create and be who I am and just say what I needed to say. And I realized that it's so much bigger than what you see on other platforms. And because people, like if you go and you see a video on your For You page where, it's a sad story or someone has a disability, those people are loved. And if you had to be the same person on another platform, you would receive so much hate. I still get so much more hate from Instagram than I do on TikTok. Everyone on TikTok is so lovable. You get the odd, user 5710, whatever. But, it's people love you on TikTok. And I think that's what gave me the confidence to just be who I am and just put myself out there. And it's received by people globally. It's not just like people down my street love me. It's like the world receives you and they love you regardless.
And that, I think more than anything, especially on these social media platforms and mental health that one has to deal with because of these platforms, it's always great to have your own safe space. And even if that safe space is your community and your followers on your page, I think that's an amazing thing. What made you decide that, this might be a thing? Like me on TikTok creating now and not just consuming consuming the content. Where did that change come about?
I think it came with, because I knew it was an evolving platform. It's like joining Instagram right at the beginning. I was on the platform really early, so I was able to learn all the in-app features, like the back of my hand. And then creating the content became easier because it was part of my day. It wasn't like I set time apart to create content. I would literally be making bottles in the kitchen or cleaning bottles in the kitchen. I would just put my phone up and whatever I thought of doing, I would do. And I just put myself out there in that way. And that was received well. And I think that's the difference between Instagram and TikTok, because on TikTok, you build a community that supports you regardless.
Would you guys say you were a public figure couple? Like, I know you guys had like the top billing coverage of your wedding, and like, obviously he's a rugby player and, certain people know him in terms of that industry. Do you think there was some form of spotlight on you guys as a couple already?
I possibly there was, but I've always wanted to be known by my name. And not just Courtnall's wife or Courtnall's girlfriend or Courtnall's fiance or their mom. So for me, people knowing my name really means the world to me. And I think that's what being able to create on these platforms do for me. It gives me a name, it gives me a voice, and that's amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I only knew about your husband because of you. Like, I was like, let me do my research. Let me find out, get prepared for this interview. And your content is on my timeline. I've seen it a lot. I love the ones when you're like telling the kids to go out because they're stressing you. Like, that kind of content. I think it did like really, really well. But I love the fact that obviously he is just like a rugby player and people know him. He's part of, that world. But TikTok was able to give you your own world where people know you separate from any other person. How did you find managing still being a wife, now having this almost 1 million followers on TikTok, so this community, you have 2 kids. There's a lot on your plate.
It's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, some days I'm like, how did I get through the day? How did I do this? But I really feel like it's God's grace upon my life, because when I need strength, all I can do is pray, because I know I need to do certain things and I have responsibility and my family always comes first. But I really try and set out time for myself. So even if that means taking a very long shower or creating a TikTok video, or sometimes it's cleaning, believe it or not, I find that very therapeutic. So yeah.
That's good. I always wished I had that problem. I wished cleaning was like therapeutic for me because I feel like I would do it a lot more often.
It wasn't until I had kids. Then I had to make it my time, yeah.
So what has been the most interesting part of that you have found within your TikTok journey? Maybe something that surprised you and something that you were just like, okay, that's something that was taken back by?
I can't say I've been taken back by anything besides the fact that I feel like the community that you build on TikTok stay with you from the beginning and they stay with you for life, literally. Like people I remember that commented on my videos and liked my videos when I had like 1,000 followers are the same people that comment and like on my videos today. And I think that that's what TikTok was made me realize, you know. And I'm not just speaking to a local audience, I'm speaking to a global audience. So when people are commenting and telling me that they're from other parts of the world, that amazes me because I've never been able to reach out on Instagram or any other platform to people globally, which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's absolutely incredible. And I love the fact that you are very conscious of that community. How do you constantly build a relationship with the people who've been following you from 1,000 followers till now almost 1 million?
I really try and be as engaging as possible. So I know I don't always have the time and I probably miss a lot, but I'm always there trying to comment and reply to everybody. If I see local content on my For You page, then I always try and drop a like or a comment just to show that, you know, I'm still there and I'm still a real person, because you get crazy comments like, oh my God, I cannot believe you commented, or I cannot believe you liked my video, and people post about that. And I'm like, I'm also just a person that can see your messages and they can see your comments and they can see your likes, and I appreciate you. And that's one way I feel like I can also show them that, you know, I see you.
So here you are, you built this incredible community of TikTok fans, creators, community from all around the world. How did you then start handling, because, something I realized is that people who've blown up on TikTok, it's really been kind of like a COVID experience because most people started during COVID. When did you start?
I started when I gave birth to my last born, which was October 2019. My husband had started in August 2019 and he convinced me to download the app. So I did, and I started watching in October 2019.
So you guys were ahead of the game a little bit in terms of like consistently, like knowing that this platform would be what it is. Shout out to Gary Vee that we love, that obviously convinced your husband. So then what happened? Did you experience a change during COVID?
I must say there was a lot more watches. So the engagement and the reach that we had during COVID was insane. But I also know and feel just like myself that people were looking for something to just make them smile, to make them forget about their current situation and their current challenges and just have a good laugh. And often when we have bad days, we do exactly the same. So that's why I feel like people were consuming so much more content, because they had nowhere to go and nothing to do, and some people lost everything. So I feel like that's maybe a reason why there was so much more content being consumed during that time. Yeah.
Did people kind of side-eye you or your family in regards to like TikTok? Because TikTok was just like, oh, kiddies platform. Like, what are you doing on that kiddies platform? Did you experience any of that? I don't want to say backlash, because I don't think it's necessarily backlash, but just people just being like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
I feel like there still is a lot of people that are like, I don't know what you're doing. And I know that a lot of people like, you're old with kids, what are you doing on the platform? But the people that are in my circle are very supportive, which is why I still do what I do, even though I may have, a harder day than usual. Sometimes I just post to make myself smile, but I know that in the same light, I'm making others smile. So yeah, you constantly get backlash from people, but you will get that. We live in a world where people are hurt. Yeah.
You spoke about running the business, your business. Now, I want to make sure I get this clear. Is your business TikTok?
No.
Or is there another business? Talk to me about that.
So we have a local clothing brand that we started. It's actually about positive messaging. And that's something that was our baby, that was born before COVID, that kind of suffered during COVID. But now we're focusing that on being a personal, like a positive messaging business. So our focus is not there that much anymore. But then I also have a digital marketing agency. So yes, power to the marketing people, the digital people and the space, because my passion didn't die when I left corporate. And that fire just burned within me until I knew my kids were okay for me to also start focusing my time on something for me as well. So that's my baby at the moment, and it's doing, God blessed my business during COVID. It's unfortunate for a lot of people, but God really brought me through during COVID because of people that, moved to digital and consumed so much content. So yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
What did you do in corporate?
I was in corporate. I was in Prime Media and I was also in the government. I was in the police for like 4 years. Yeah. But in corporate, I did what I loved. So I was doing branding, I was doing project management, and that's when I discovered that was my passion and my first love. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, TikTok isn't necessarily the furthest thing from that because it's still within the media space. That means the way you guys obviously brand yourself and put yourself out on a public platform, you already had some back-end training in regards to that. And now with you having a digital agency, do people contact you about TikTok?
I do get a lot of brand collab requests. So that's a really blessed side of everything because I've been able to build a personal brand apart from my marketing agency. So the campaign work that I do is phenomenal because it literally TikTok allows you to think outside the box. And I think if you're just an Instagrammer or just a Twitter or a Facebooker, it doesn't give you that creative edge because everything starts on TikTok first.
Yeah. No, TikTok has definitely been a platform that has set a lot of trends. And it seems to be like the starting place that everything now kind of stems from. And we know that short form video is kind of the way of the future. Like, Instagram then did their own version of it. And now YouTube's doing their own version of it. And, all of that kind of coming in, but it obviously stemmed from TikTok. And so then how did you, I guess your experience in branding may have helped you with this, but when brands started approaching you for TikTok and start, inquiring about your platform and your community on TikTok, how were you able to form a relationship with some of these brands and effectively, I guess, build relationships with them as well?
So the brands that I had built relationship working with, luckily, or it's a blessing that I've been working with for years. So obviously not everyone is at a place where they believe in marketing on TikTok yet, because it's actually for like Gen Z people. But obviously there was a time where I was very confused as to what my rate card on TikTok should be. I think I was on like 200,000 followers at the time when I got my first campaign. And then I reached out to the TikTok team for guidance because I don't want to just put something out there or align myself to something that won't work for that platform, because it doesn't help you promoting something that you would on Instagram, even though I only align myself to brands that are aligned with my personal morals and values. On TikTok, it's something completely different compared to the content that I create. So the stuff that's funny might not be funny on Instagram and it won't work on TikTok. So I really reached out to the team and they were very supportive in that regard as to what I should be charging for, my followers and the type of content I create, and aligning myself with the right brands as well.
Yeah. And so from that experience to where you are now, what are some of the key things that you've realized in terms of forming relationships with brands in a way that, one, you get paid your worth, and then two, you're able to still deliver content that is true to you? Because sometimes working with brands can be, I find that a lot of us creators sometimes can be a little stifled by brand work because they want it to look a certain way, be a certain way, especially when they don't understand the platform. And TikTok is obviously a platform right now that is budding, it's really growing, but it's still a platform that a lot of corporate people don't understand yet. So how have you been able to navigate that over time from when you started with TikTok helping you and guide you essentially in that conversation to where you are now?
I think I'm constantly learning, and I recently reached out to the TikTok team again because I felt like, as much as I'm blessed enough to be having a lot of campaigns that are coming my way for TikTok specifically, it also isn't something that is received by your community very well, because people are so tired of seeing ads that if you do a product push on a platform like TikTok, it's not received well by your followers or your community. So I feel like at this point, I'm in a space where I can either give you the creative for, the campaign that you're running and have that approved before committing on paper, signing a contract, and being able to be still authentic to myself. If you've watched some of my recent campaign stuff, it's hilarious. And I feel like the brand was still like, oh my God, she wants to post this. But I know what would do well on that platform. Like, I'm able to do a in-your-face product push on Instagram, and people will still be like, oh, okay, she's just posting another ad, but that still feeds my family at the end of the day. And that's what people on Instagram understand. But on TikTok, it's a different community. They go there for a good laugh, not an advert.
Wow, that's quite an interesting observation. And now, in thinking about it, as I consume TikTok, I'm not really trying to be out here for brands, but as a creator, I do understand that we need to work with brands. We need to get paid by them. It's a livelihood. How are you able to make sure that the relationship with the community isn't hindered or doesn't take a knock because you're working with a brand?
I honestly don't know. I feel like, in a way, if I am as authentic as possible, so me creating like everyday relatable content, but in the same breath trying to, still put the brief, still match the brief. Then recently I submitted a brief where it was a little bit tricky because I incorporated my husband into everything to try and make it like an everyday moment. And I feel like if it's as real as possible, that may work better on the platform.
Okay. So a hard product push would be a no.
No.
Ah, okay. So
it might do well. Yeah, it might really do well for like a Charli D'Amelio or like an Addison Rae. But for South African girl who has a South African audience, it really isn't something that South Africans take well to, because I feel like there's a lot of people that don't understand why we do it in the first place, because it's such a small industry. So for people to be educated first and have that knowledge of, okay, this is also a means of income for her and her family, and at the same time she's still making effort to make us laugh, then it would be a little bit more different.
Do you have a ratio as to like how many branded work versus non-branded work you have on your timeline to kind of even it out for your community, especially because they might not necessarily understand at this time on TikTok in South Africa that creators need to get paid?
Actually, with regards to Instagram, no, actually, there's a lot more campaigns than moments that I have to share. But on TikTok, oh my soul, on TikTok, I am really trying to manage that, because I don't want to be that girl where people go to my page and it's just advert. I really want to build a relationship with a brand where they also value the person I am. So instead of posting 5 posts, post 2 posts and spread out over a month. That's something that I feel like may work a bit better on the platform than trying to push out brand and content and, get as much as they can to get the campaign out, but then it doesn't actually do well because it's not received well by the community.
Yeah. Now, it's been known, and I'm starting to experience this because I had a video do really well like 2 days ago on TikTok. Thank you. And I'm just seeing them go over to Instagram. I'm seeing that, and in a way it's surprising, because I would just think you would just follow on TikTok and that would be that. But in your growth, how did your growth on TikTok affect you on other platforms?
So when I started TikTok, I was on 14,000 followers on Instagram. And now I'm over 200,000 followers on Instagram, which is insane, because I know how difficult it is to build a community on Instagram. And I think that people on TikTok only see so much of you, which is why they go onto other platforms to see more of you. What do you like with your kids? What does your house look like? What are you eating? You're posting stories so they can watch everything you do that you put out there. And I think that they want a little bit more of that personal attachment to you, which is why they go onto other platforms like Instagram, which is amazing that TikTok has the feature to link your Instagram and your YouTube channel to TikTok, because then your community builds on social regardless, and they're very loyal. Yeah.
Sure. No, that's been, you're so right. Growing on Instagram has become it's like pulling teeth. It's such a difficult thing to do at this time that it's kind of nice to know that by building a community on TikTok, they're so interested and so invested in your lives that they want to see more of you on different platforms, which I guess goes back to that building of a community and really engaging that audience so that in the end, it's a family. It's a little family here. Do your kids have any idea of what's going on?
Ooh, if they have no idea now, my son does, but if they have no idea now, one day they're going to be very embarrassed by the stuff that I've done, and I feel so bad for them because they're boys, but oh well. It is what it is. But the funniest thing is that my son goes to school and he says to his teacher, he comes home to tell me, because every day there's a story. He tells his teacher, my dad plays rugby, he plays with the ball, and my mom makes TikTok for work. So I make TikTok for work and the dad plays with balls, which is terrible. I can't even imagine what his teacher thinks of us, but yeah, it is what it is.
You never know. She might be on TikTok. She might be a follower. She might be part of the community being like, I know exactly what your mom does and I love it. So hopefully that's the case. Now, where would you love all of this to go? Where would you've built this community. I mean, getting 1 million followers, building a community of 1 million people is not an easy thing. And it's something that can be leveraged into other things as well. Is there a bigger goal that you're hoping to reach?
I've always been extra. I've always been different. I've always never had friends that stuck because I'm a bit weird in a way. So I feel like TikTok has allowed me to put myself out there. So I would love to act. I think, like, as much as Courtnall says my kids get their acting skills when they're throwing tantrums from me, I feel like that would be something I would excel in. Like, it would be, and it's not just a goal of mine, because I know that every opportunity I get through this platform, I'm creating opportunity for my children, which is the bigger picture for me. And leaving a legacy for them and leaving opportunity for them at the end of the day makes my life worth it.
What would you advise somebody who wants to start on TikTok now? Like, now we have amazing TikTokers who have millions of followers and they're feeling, okay, I don't know, like, you know, it kind of, not in a way, we still know that TikTok is still a newish platform. It's still growing. It's not as old as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even YouTube. But there've been such incredible growth and so many success stories from the platform that it can feel like, oh, I'm too late to really dive into like putting everything into TikTok now. So what advice would you give to somebody who's like considering going onto the platform?
Yo, it's late, Aisha. It's late. But I've seen people that have so much talent do so well. So I know that there are people that have started careers from putting themselves out there. Musicians, actors, dancers, everything started on TikTok. So I do believe it's a talent platform. So if you have a talent, put yourself out there because you will do extremely well. And I recently had a chat to a friend of mine that's kind of stagnating on Instagram, and I said to her, put yourself out there on TikTok. You're amazing at what you do. Just build a community there and translate that onto the other platforms, because then you build a bigger community, and that's what you're looking for at the moment. So I don't feel like it is late, but no, it's not too late.
Yeah. Now, lastly, you know, you kind of got into this platform. You got onto TikTok because of your husband. You're so past him in terms of numbers. And what does he think of your growth on the platform? How like, do you guys have conversations about it?
My husband has always been very supportive, and I think because we have such a jovial relationship and we always taking khat of each other, I don't know if I can say that, that's just part of who we are. So he's the first one that I would show my video to when I post it, and he would be the first one to laugh at me, even though he might not spend much time on TikTok anymore because he's so busy. I know that he's the first one to receive my content and the first one to be like, this is so funny, you're hilarious, you're crazy, or, you know, and I know that my videos do get circulated within the team as well. And they show him my videos that he's missed. So I feel like he receives my stuff very well and he's very supportive. If I'm like, my love, I've got this and this and this to do and I need to squeeze in like 1 or 2 TikToks, and he's like, go do your thing, mommy. I'm like, okay, I'm going.
I love that. That's an amazing thing. It's good to have a supportive relationship as well, because this could grow into something just incredible. I mean, sky's the limit. We've seen internationally how creators have been able to just go on to just flourish in so many different ways, and we're hoping the same for a lot of local TikTokers. And so, yeah, thank you so much for your time. It was really great to know, because I feel like you were able to, whether you knew it or not, bring a lot of the branding aspect, like all of that came in even in your delivery of the platform, you know, Instagram versus TikTok, and that it's late but not too late to still, you know, to still get on the app. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
And that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back next week, Thursday. So make sure you subscribe, put on the notification bell, give this video a like. And if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section down below. Until next time, bye.